like we said, you never know who's going to be in the bar.
Who's going to show up?
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome in. He's a world champion on the independent scene, Mr. Andrew Anderson.
What's going on, guys?
Hey,
welcome.
I forgot Nick was supposed to send me a few hours before to remind me, and I was in the car dealership right now because my car took a massive shit on me a few weeks ago.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, trying to balance a lot of hats here. My apologies on my end, but definitely appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm just driving through God's country here in Pennsylvania. We're in Lancaster? Or Ephrata, home of the Amish. I kind of don't fit in over here wearing my Kiss Room T-shirt. So,
welcome in. We usually say, "What are you drinking? What are you thinking?" But obviously, driving probably definitely not the best idea.
First of all, I want to tell AJ Caprio, I'm going to kick him in the balls because the man says, "I'll call you back." Never does.
Oh, yeah. Again, I completely forgot. By way of our friends at Integrated Pain Management, AJ Caprio,
yep.
Yes.
I love Dr. Caprio. I love AJ, but AJ's, I'll call you right back. I'm going to be Dr. Blood. I'm going to be managing somebody again. Okay, good. He managed me first as Dr. Blood, so which was a lot of fun.
You know, that's a great impression, too, of him, because it's almost spot on.
Yeah, for sure.
He's funny. I could do I just did an impression a couple of hours ago of Greg Valentine I was talking to Jimmy Hart, and I was going, "That son of a bitch, Beefcake, fuck him." Fuck Beefcake. So, how you guys doing, man?
We're doing great. It's Friday night here, so we're enjoying ourselves. Yeah, Nikki, we usually like to just kind of kick it off here. I'll let Nikki take it away, ladies first.
Started off, but I'm really curious about like what gets people started, what like turns you on like about the business. Was it like seeing a house show or seeing like a wrestler? What was like the first thing you're like, oh, I need to do that for the rest of my life?
Oh, what brought me into the wrestling business?
Yeah.
30 some odd years ago, I was bouncing in a bar and I met the Metal Maniac, Jeff Miller, and Jimmy Superfly Snuka. They brought me to Gino Caruso, Mr. Italy in Parsippany, New Jersey. I've been a wrestler ever since. But about for a year or so, I wound up carrying Jimmy's bags to shows. I was pretty much his bag boy for about a year and a half on and off when Jeff wasn't driving him around, because Jeff was always working Jimmy on all those indie shows. So it's been fun. It's been a long career, and I'm still doing it. As a matter of fact, I just got called to do a show July 17th in, I want to say Rutherford, New Jersey. So,
yeah, and you're local to New Jersey, correct?
Yeah, that's close. I mean, I live between PA and New Jersey now, so I go back and forth. But I live mostly in Pennsylvania. My fiance and I live in Pennsylvania, but we travel a lot to Jersey because everything I have is pretty much in Jersey, so I go back and forth with my doctors, my comic book store, my friends and everything. So, and wrestling a lot in Jersey, wrestling a lot in Florida, wrestling a lot in New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, back to Vegas for the Cauliflower Alley Club, I think in August or September. I don't remember what it is. So there's a lot of stuff going on, so it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. So we talked about it earlier with AJ being one of your managers. You've been managed by a lot of people over the years and a lot of big names. Is there one that kind of stands out that seemed to have worked with your character and things like that?
Yeah. I got to say my favorite manager was only for a short time. Was Roddy Piper. I had a lot of fun with him. Managed me. Captain Lou Albano was one of my earliest managers that they put on the indie circuit with me when I worked for the Savoldis. Then who else? God, sports agent Doug DeVito was my longtime manager. My friend, I broke him into business, and he wound up managing me for a long time. Of course, Jimmy Mouth of the South Heart. That was a fucking match made in heaven. I just, yeah, baby, okay, baby, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, baby, yeah. Because my friendship with Greg Valentine, and at the time my friendship with Brutus. So, so I was pretty cool with Jimmy Hart from the get-go. God, I list the managers. It goes on. Now my favorite manager is the prettiest one of them all, right here, driving right here. Hey, hot stuff, turn around. So my fiance Karen, the lovely Miss Karen, in so can't get any hotter than that,
Love it.
So you guys, well, Nikki, this is right up your
wrestling
alley.
films are like my favorite thing in the world. So like that's kind of how we kind of sort of got together. It's like we both kind of love wrestling, and it was like one of the first guys was not weirded out. It was like, oh, you love wrestling? Awesome! Like let's talk wrestling all day.
That's cool. Yeah, I try not to talk wrestling all day. So usually instead of talking wrestling, I'm talking about comic books or something like that. Listen, friends of mine, I did a signing at Chiller Theater in Rutherford. In Rutherford. Chiller Theater used to be in Rutherford. Chiller Theater in Parsippany at the Hilton last weekend, and it was great because I was reunited with my old friend Butch Patrick, who played Eddie Munster on the Munsters, and Don Jameson from that metal show with Eddie Trunk, him and Chuck Zito and all these guys that I've known for freaking years. So, and it was just a good time. And Lita Ford was there. So Karen and I got to hang with all my old friends. So it was really a good time to be around. But people kept asking me the whole time I was there, how much longer are you going to keep doing this?
And what was your answer?
Till the wheels fall off, which they're almost, if not for Dr. Caprio, they would have fell off a long time ago. If not for those stem cells, man, and the testosterone therapy and everything else, my wheels would have fell off a long time ago. So here's a plug: Integrated Pain Management in East Rutherford, or is it Rutherford? It's Rutherford, right?
Yeah, I believe Rutherford.
Rutherford. Yeah. Integrated Pain Management. Union Avenue, I think it is in Rutherford. Dr. Angelo Caprio, has been taking care of me for the last 4 years since COVID. If you want to get rejuvenated, look into stem cells. I mean, it's just amazing what they do for you. Exosome stem cells and all the other therapies that they have, testosterone therapy. And, Nick, if you're going through menopause, maybe he has something to help you too. I meant menopause.
Touche.
Nikki, you don't want to go through that because it'll probably make you grow a beard. So you don't want any of
that. Nikki? Oh, so take us through. You were obviously, you've done a lot of work, obviously in the film aspect. Take us through your experience on The Wrestler. Obviously, you were part of that. What was that whole experience like for you? Obviously,
It was amazing. The Wrestler, I'll always say, Gino Caruso brought me on an interview, and he brought me with me because apparently Darren Aronofsky and a guy who passed away a long time ago, the Mambo King, this wrestler, the Mambo King, tried to take credit for it, but it was really Gino Caruso and Evan Ginsberg who helped me out with it. Evan Ginsberg was one of the co-producers of it, and but Darren Aronofsky saw me at a wrestling show that at the time it was East Coast Pro Wrestling. And I didn't know this till I got to the interview. I was there with Necro Butcher, The Truth was there, my buddy Pete Nixon, a bunch of other people. We were all there auditioning for different roles in the movie. I had no idea until I was told I got a role for the movie. I was on set, and I'm pissing right next to Aronofsky. I thought he was just a casting agent, and I meet him, and I'm in the bathroom taking a leak next to him, and he looks over to me and goes, "Man," he goes, "you're a natural." He goes, "I'm glad you're on this set on this film." And he said, he goes, "You're unbelievable." He goes, "I saw you perform, and I think it was in Morristown or somewhere around there. I chased like 40 school kids into the rafters of the bleachers, swinging a 15-foot long chain like a propeller." Because I remember, like the night before that, I said, I never did anything like this. I'm going to start swinging my chain like Bruiser Brody when I go to the ring. I did that, and the kids all ran up to the rafters, and I remember doing that because I only did it once. And Darren hired me, and then I did my role. I got my lines on the first take. He said I was a one take, and he loved it. And anyway, from there, I got a small cameo role for other movies with Mickey Rourke. And then I wound up getting the Skittles commercial, the Doritos commercial. Actually, I got to tell you, once again, I got to give credit. Gino was contacted. They wanted me for the Skittles commercial for the audition. I got that too. So he's been a link to a lot of things for me, which is pretty cool. And
that commercial is
I also I also got a great manager. I also have a great manager, Pat Horgan, and the management team. I call them Team Anderson. Pat Horgan, Mike Mullen, and Kelly Mullen, and they help me get all these roles. They help me get on Sneaky Pete. They helped me get on Gotham. They got me on Daredevil coming up, the new series for Disney Plus. It's been a great fun ride. Look, I bodyguarded for Ace Frehley from Kiss for how many years, and I'm still good friends with Ace. He's going back on tour with the 10,000 Volts album, so, you never know where I might turn up.
Exactly. One thing leads into another.
I'm just gonna go back to the wrestler. Did you feel like it was like really like authentic, and it was like your wrestler story, or like being like on the indie scene? Do you feel like it was portrayed like authentically?
I couldn't get you. It was breaking up. The Wi-Fi keeps breaking up the sound on this.
Yeah, she wants to know, do you feel like the wrestler was portrayed authentically?
It was 100% authentically.
Okay.
I mean, Jimmy Snuka used to say to me that was based on his career, and I also heard it was loosely based on Jake the Snake Roberts' career. And in some ways, the movie now, as I'm older, it mimics my career to a degree. I mean, it's hard to age in a business. It's really a young man's sport, and I've been doing this. I'm 56. I'm still running around the ring in my underwear. I think I look pretty good, for my age, and I'm move pretty well, and I'm still able to compete with these younger guys. I'm not running around freaking going crazy or anything. I'm not trying to kill my body anymore, but I'm not phoning it in either. I'm just trying to do the best I can with what I have left. I think I got a little gas left in the tank. Tim Storm, former NWA champion, my good friend, used to say, I have a lot more miles in the rearview mirror than I do in the windshield, So, but that's true with me too. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it till the wheels fall off.
As someone who's wrestled, for decades now, what do you see? Like, obviously wrestling's kind of evolved in the last 20, 30 years. What's your opinion of the product that's been coming out more mainstream now?
Well, being more mainstream, it helps us all make money to a degree, but it also closes it off for a lot of people. I mean, look, you got a lot of companies. You got AEW. They use a lot of independent people now, a lot of the younger talent, which is great for the younger talent. And you got WWE now. I think WWE right now, that whole bloodline story and everything, I think WWE is better than it's ever been in years. It was unwatchable. Whatever Triple H is doing and the top roster that he has there, unbelievable. It's just a really, really great place to be right now. Wrestling's in the mainstream, wrestling's everywhere, but at the same time, it's oversaturated,
No, great point.
So, Nikki, you look like you have something to say.
Yeah, no, she was trying to say.
No, I just feel like you can't hear me, so he's like, ask a question, and I feel like I have to yell at you.
No, I can hear you depending on the area that we're driving in. He's coming in clear, you're not, but
a little closer to the mic.
No, we talked to Crowbar the other week.
Crowbar show, yeah. How was the show?
Yeah, it was great.
We talked Star Wars for a little bit.
Yep, he's a big Star Wars fanatic. He always goes with his family to Disney. He's got a massive Star Wars collection. I have a massive Marvel collection. I collect a lot of Marvel action figures, Marvel toys. I have a lot of Kiss memorabilia. A lot of it was given to me from Ace himself and other people, that know him. I was a huge Kiss fan growing up, so for me to wind up being Ace Frehley's bodyguard and his personal friend for over 35 years, it's pretty fucking amazing. I used to party with him in the China Club in New York City. We know each other from way back when, man. So I gotta ask you,
being a fan of the band, did you find it hard? Like, so you're there? Are you there during during? Well, I guess not during concerts, but like knowing, like who you're. I guess does it give you extra emphasis to who you're defending? Like I appreciate this guy so much more than the average Joe.
Yeah. It's. I couldn't get everything you said. Could have came out. I heard you said I heard you say I appreciate. Give me that
Yeah,
again.
it's one of those things where you feel like because you had such an appreciation for his music that it's just like you like again being a bodyguard, you defend it a little bit more than the average Joe. It's not just a job.
Listen to me. I'm a lot more than the average Joe. I'm a lot more than the average Joe. Nobody. I can tell you this: nobody ever got arrested. Nobody ever fucked with him. Nobody ever did anything when I was on stage with him or I was in the vicinity. Nobody ever fucked with us. So, and nobody in their right mind should,
Exactly.
So,
so is that how? So take us. Is that how the reinforcer name kind of came about, or how did that?
No, the reinforcer name. I'll tell you. I originally was, I was put in as Nikolai Volkov's tag team partner by John Krasuski after Boris Zukov retired. It was me and Nikolai Volkov as the new Bolsheviks, and I was teaming with him, and I was doing the Siberian Tiger. Well, we were at a show in Jersey All Pro Wrestling in New Jersey in Bayonne, and Nova, Mike Bucci came up to me and said, on a microphone, right after I wrestled, and I lost to Mike as he was Hollywood Supernova during the ECW years. It was right in the middle of that ECW craze. He says to me, he goes, Siberian Tiger, Andrew, we all know what your real last name is. And I'm looking at him like, what? Is this a shoot? And it was like, your real name is Anderson. You better step into the Anderson family shoes because you're not Russian. The Cold War's dead. You got Andrew Anderson. Because shoot to now like around 2000, 1999, 2000. Crowbar, Chris Ford says, you know what? The dude in WCW that was there, I forgot what his name was. He's not using the reinforcer name. He's hired from wrestling. Call yourself the reinforcer. Arn was the enforcer. You're the reinforcer. Makes sense. So Chris dubbed me that. So I got to give him massive credit for that too. So really, Chris and Mike Bucci were the ones who created the reinforcer Andrew Anderson. On the other hand, Kevin Sullivan turned me into the new Purple Haze when, because obviously Mark Lewin is 84 years old, lives in Singapore, married to one of the princesses, royal family to the Princess of Singapore. He gave me the original robe, did the whole angle in Championship Wrestling from Florida when he was trying to reboot it for Jeff Weaver, his version of it. And I came out as the new Purple Haze, and it was it's been a wild run as the Purple Haze too, hitting people with the golden spike, which, as to quote the words of the Nasty Boys, hey Drew, stay with the golden spike. You can wrestle for fucking 40 years more like the Sheik did. All you gotta do is stab somebody in the head and run around, roll your eyes like a crazy person. That's a great gig. so pretty much, I want to. That's my Knobs impression. But I want to doing that, and I want to doing that for a while. I still it's still Andrew, the reinforcer Andrew Anderson, now known as the Purple Haze, whatever they want to do, depending on the promotions and what to use it. Like SICW, Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling, Herb Simmons, and one of the oldest companies, the oldest independent company in the country, probably in the Northern Hemisphere. They use me as the Purple Haze, and so it's just really it's really cool just to update my character every now and again, but keep to within the limits of keeping it true to myself, who I am,
Absolutely.
So it's not that far of a stretch. You guys all froze. Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
I think. Oh, you got it. I see.
Yeah,
you guys.
we can hear you on this end.
Up on me.
So we got a caller on the line. If you're open to taking a call here.
Sure. Who is it?
So this is one of our listeners here, Steve. Steve wants to ask in. Steve, we're gonna roll you back in, Steve. You're on with Andrew Anderson.
I can't hear him.
Hold on one second. Steve, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
What's up, Ram Jam?
I absolutely love that movie. I also remember that you worked with another one of my favorite filmmakers, Spike Lee.
No. That was somebody put that. That's on my IMDb page. That is totally false. Somebody put that up there. They screwed with my Wikipedia page and my IMDb page. They put down. It was one of my buddies was with me. He used to call me Baby Gorilla, and he put down Baby Gorilla as my name up there. And then somebody else, Wikipedia, screwed up and not Wikipedia. IMDb screwed up and put down I was in one of Spike Lee's. I was not in a Spike Lee movie.
Okay,
It was called Sucker Free City, and I was not in it. That is false.
Okay, my mistake, sir.
No, it's all good. It's all good. People ask me that all the time, and I have to correct certain things.
That's okay. But in general, though, how did you find the transition from wrestling to acting in movies?
Well, the wrestling, I'll tell you, acting almost killed me in Gotham. That was the most brutal sequence I ever did, because they had me do 50 bumps on concrete wearing nothing but a leather biker jacket. And they put a thin pad, like from the cushioning from the inside of a car, because we were filming in a car place, an old mechanic shop. So they found some padding in there to stuff in the back of my jacket. So that's like third, fourth bump on concrete. I was dying. And I did 40, 50 bumps. And then the last two, number 48, number 49, they decided to do those next to last two of me, like sort of bouncing off a 57 Chevy and sliding down. And they finally got it down. The 50th shot we did, 50th take, was the one they decided to use, where I slid down the back of the Chevy. So it was just a slight little ass bump from about freaking 18 inches to the ground. But that was brutal. But everything else in the wrestler, it was because I got to play myself. I took the lines they gave me, and I ad-libbed a little bit, and they loved it. So that was a one take. The Skittles commercial was pretty much me grunting, groaning, picking things up. I had to play myself. I had to play myself also again in Doritos commercial, just a couple lines there. But in Gotham and in especially the Sneaky Pete episode where I played the arms dealer, that was tough, because that took a lot of effort in that. You know what I'm saying? With I wasn't used to reading lines and getting a script. That was kind of hard. That was kind of hard for me. That was the first one. I played a lot of werewolves in different movies. One of them was I played a werewolf in Ginger Snaps Back, which nobody really knows about, because I don't really go into it too much, because I didn't like the movie. But I also played a werewolf in Creepy Tales and Girls Night Out, So I did that, but I played the actual wolf, not the. I played the actual werewolf, not the guy who transforms into him. He transforms into me. That was before we had all CGI and everything else. So, and that was actually before The Wrestler. So that was pretty cool to be on the sets of those movies.
Yeah. Are there any directors you'd still like to work with?
I'd love to work with Darren again. I would love to work with him. I would die to be in a Scorsese picture. Actually, somebody came up to me and said Martin Scorsese was actually looking to use me as an extra. Actually, both me and Ace from Kiss as an extra for a movie, because we did some we posed some pictures by Niagara Falls, and he said he had an idea for us. Actually, three of us, me, him, and his manager, John Ostrowski. But nothing ever came to fruition of it, you know.
Well, hopefully something does. That'd be fun. Be exciting. Can
you imagine me in a fucking Martin Scorsese film right here? I'd be like my fucking sister Janice said something, you know.
I'll be honest. Given your background and some of the roles that you've done, I'd be disappointed if it wasn't some sort of like gangsters, mob type movie.
That's all I need to do right now. It's getting a nice gangster role. I would love to have a recurring role on some series. So right now, Daredevil looks like it's going to be cool. I can't shoot any pictures on the internet yet. I got to kind of haven't really figured out. I mean, they're reshooting everything that they originally shot because of the Screen Actors Guild strike and everything. So most of it is in the can, and I got more scenes coming up for this one now. So this time, Kevin Feige from Marvel Pictures threw the whole fucking thing out the door, because he saw what they did in the beginning of the series. So, it's not a huge role, but it's a role,
Exactly.
But you know me, I'm a typical worker. I take the little bit role they give me and I run with it. So I went from being a 1 minute scene in The Wrestler to co-star of the movie The Wrestler.
Exactly. Well, Andrew, we appreciate it. Where can everybody, before we let you out of here, where can everybody find you? What do you got upcoming? I know you mentioned some of them.
They can find me on Instagram at Andrew the Reinforcer. Twitter at Drew the Wrestler. Andrew the Reinforcer Anderson on Facebook. Andrew Anderson on Facebook. And then there's also another Andrew Anderson fan page on Facebook. The booking inquiries, they can reach me at andrewandersonwrestling@gmail.com. And man, it's been a look. I'm blessed. I got Karen by my side here. She's she's been everything to me, helped me get through life in general. I couldn't imagine my life without her. So and it's just been really cool. And I had some great friends in this business, people who really had my back over the years, like Kevin Sullivan and Greg Valentine, my buddy Craig Massey, people like that. And of course, a lot of the promoters, Gino Caruso, Tom Lance and other people like that who I worked with over the years. I mean, I can't complain. Alpha Jr. and his Battlefield Pro Wrestling up in Broadheadsville, PA. I'm working for them a lot now. And Nelio Como at CCW. I love CCW. Some of my favorite places to work with. They brought back Championship Wrestling from Florida. Can't thank them enough for having me on their initial TV tapings. And it's just, everything's been really cool, man. There's so many people I have. If I didn't mention somebody, much love for everyone,
Absolutely.
So, May 17th, I'm going to be in Mount Kisco, New York. Go to ecpw1.com. May 18th, I'm going to be on Assault Championship Wrestling for Jason Knight, my buddy Jason Knight, my tag team partner for many years, ECW Original. We're going to be in Williamstown, New Jersey. I can't remember the name, the Pfeiffer Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. I'm May 18th. And then if everything works out right, I'm going to be on the 19th at WrestleFest or something like that. And they called me up actually this morning saying they might have a spot for me and Karen. WrestleFest, New Jersey, or something like that. It's a convention in I don't know where it is. I think it's even in Parsippany again. So I don't know, but that'd be really cool. So I that's why I have her, because she remembers all my dates. But we don't have my date book with me right now. So
well, they could all find it on your social media pages, right?
Yep.
So
River City WrestleCon. That's June 8th and 9th. That's gonna be in St. Augustine, right? St. Augustine. It's not in Jacksonville. He was in Jacksonville that past 4 years. Now it's in St. Augustine. I'll be there. And big shout out to a lot of my friends. Like I said, Jason Knight, Gino Caruso, and Cuban Assassin, Fidel Sierra. Dave is one of my best friends, as well as the other Dave, Gangrel, Dave Heath, who you guys saw wrestle last weekend in Rutherford.
Yeah.
So, really, and of course, I would be sorry to say if I did not mention my buddy AJ Caprio. So AJ,
perfect segue. I was about to do it. You
AJ Dr. Blood. Hey, you know what? Drew, I'm gonna be Dr. Blood. You know what? If I'm not Dr. Blood, I don't know what else I could be. I gotta draw blood. First time he wrestled me, I was bleeding like a stuck pig. He's running around the ring with me while I'm bleeding, bringing me back to the dressing room. So it was pretty cool. He was a Championship Wrestling from Florida title defense for the other company that for Jeff Weaver, who owned it then, or I don't know how that went. So the rights to everything are complicated. I'm getting hit with a glare over here.
Yeah, that's great. That's news to me. I never heard this one with AJ, so now I have to. He has to change.
He was great. It was Paul Roma. It was Paul Roma's show. It was at a place called the something Bar and Grill. It was like the Rodeo Bar and Grill or something in Connecticut, and I was wrestling against Captain Payne, and AJ was managing me as Dr. Blood around the ring. It was pretty cool. He's actually pretty good at it. He's funny. He's funny as hell. I couldn't.
Oh yeah. That's why I can only imagine.
He looks like as if Hercules Hernandez and Ted Arcidi had a baby, and he popped out of someone's ass.
It's exactly. I know.
You'll never hear that from anyone else but me, Dr. Blood. They call him Dr. Blood.
Well, Andrew, again, on that note, right? Always leave the crowd on a high.
Yeah.
That's it, baby. Now listen, you guys are the best. I'm glad I did this podcast. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having me on. Hopefully, I'll be on again. Yeah, and we'll have more to talk about. And I won't be driving around getting hit with the glare of the setting sun every 2 seconds.
Exactly. Well, our concept is the virtual bar, which I actually didn't even have the bar up in the background the whole show, whatever. And the bar always needs a bouncer, right? And there we go.
Who better than a professionally licensed bodyguard / professional wrestler / actor / sometimes asshole?
Exactly.
Hired.
Well, Andrew, take care. Best of luck.
Hey, you know what I gotta say? Yo, Adrian, I made it on the show.
Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, the reinforcer, Andrew Anderson. You never know who's going to pop
You
up
never know who's
for
gonna
happy
show up
hour.
at happy hour.
Check him out
Oh boy.
if you haven't
Yeah.
already on his social media, like you mentioned.
Andrew Anderson Enforcer.